Speaking of the heart, we want to talk about the passion and skill matrix. So if you would, there's two components. One is the passion, one is the skill. So passion has to do with, with any given task, do you love it or do you hate it? This is something, sign me up, coach, I'm in, I love doing this. Or is this, please don't call me, please don't ask me to do this? Or somewhere in between, right? And you could go from 0 to 10 along there. The bottom is the skill piece. It's I'm good at this or I'm terrible at it. I'm great at it, I'm really highly skilled, or this is something I fail every single time. Please don't ask me to do this. So when you put the two components together, you have a really powerful model called the passion and skill matrix. Where do you want to spend most of your time? Which quadrant? Upper right, right? We call that the sweet spot. It's just a very simple term. We all know what that feels like. Sometimes we call it in the zone, or sometimes we call it in a state of flow. When we're doing something that we love and we're good at, time flies by, right? It's just like I can't put it down. I'm so engaged in what I'm doing. Ideally, we want to spend as much time as possible in the sweet spot. Is that possible to spend all our time there? No. You know, we love training. We love designing programs. We don't love doing a lot of other aspects, the accounting and the financial stuff and the other things that you have to do when you run a business. But you do those things, or you can outsource some of those things that you're not good at or don't like if you're lucky enough. But you want to spend as much time as possible in your sweet spot. Let's talk about the upper left quadrant called the growth zone. Things you're not good at, but you like to do. What would that look like? Just call it out. So speak loud. What does that look like? Or what would be an example of that? Something that you're not good at, but you like to do. For anyone? Cooking. All right. Yeah, so I would like to do it, but I'm not good yet. But that's why we call it the growth zone, because you have the potential. If you have the passion to do it, you're going to get the book. But if you're not interested, you're not going to do that. You're not going to go to the website. You're not going to buy the ingredients and give it a shot, right? So the growth zone, that's our developmental area. What about the other corner, what we call the default zone? You're good at it, but you don't like doing it. Why wouldn't you like doing it if you're good at it? Or what would be an example of that? Anyone do something that you're good at, but you hate? Budgets, but all right, yeah. So, but that's why it's a default zone, because you're the budget person, right? You're the one. You're a great. You were an English major. Can you proofread this for me every day, every memo I send out, right? So it's like, yes, I'm good at it, but I don't want to do it. But when is this? In what ways is this an opportunity? It's an opportunity to do what? Train someone else to do it, right? Exactly. So instead of feeling dumped on all the time, let's train someone else to take over this responsibility to free us up to spend more of our time in the growth zone or the sweet spot. Failure zone, the last zone. We hate it and we're terrible at it. I was going to say something else, but let's just say you're terrible at it, right? So this is the area that you want to spend as little time as possible. Try to get out of this. You just set up for, I've had jobs before. I once took a job because the salary was good, the title was impressive, and it was in business development, and I was terrible at it, and I hated it, and it didn't last very long for those reasons. So sometimes we take jobs for the wrong reason, and we think, oh, maybe I'll grow to like it, maybe I'll grow to get better at it, but we only know ourselves. You're the only one who can be the judge of this, unless it's your boss, who basically says you've been living your life in the failure zone for the last 6 months, and today's your last day, but definitely keep in touch. So the key thing with this model, again, is try to find ways to spend as much time in your sweet spot, but also as a manager or leader, try to find ways to get your people to spend as much of their time as possible in the sweet spot.